Welcome everybody, this is Evelyn. I have a Metatron read and a twin flame read for you that's on the table as you see. I did want to correct something yesterday. I believe I showed you the wrong Metatron picture. So this is the picture from yesterday in case you're curious. All right, there's a new one for today. And we're going to get right into that. So take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. Thank you for joining me. So some amazing messages came through again from the Metatron read today. Today is Friday here anyway, January 21st, 2022, the 21 of the world and completion, and the day adds up to 28, which is that twin flame energy, that choice of path or the 0 point energy. And I was listening to another Cryon session this morning, and one of the quotes that stood out to me was to just be there for the others, right? There's nothing specific you need to do, just be there for them when they need to express themselves and need someone who won't react to what they say, that will just be there for them. So an important message for everybody. The underlying energies here were all about the cosmos and love and being authentic to yourself. And I just had a phone call expressing that energy as well with a divine masculine energy. And here is the read for today, the Metatron read. These are the underlying energies on this left side, and then I go across going down. And then these are the end cards, and these vary from day to day how many cards get pulled. It just based on what I'm guided to do. So let's roll the die and see what kind of energy is coming up from the dice today. It's beautiful and sunny out today. My back is definitely releasing. I just had a hard time for one day. I call it the iron cross, right between your wings, where it goes up into your neck and stabs you constantly every time you move your head. So obviously you can't function very well when your head, you get stabbed every time your head moves. So that happened for a day, and then I did some yoga stretches in the mornings, and and I did my inversion table, and it's releasing very nicely. I was just using ice. I did Motrin once, but I didn't use any more Motrin, and I'm doing fine. There's still a little bit of residual there today, but nothing that's preventing my movement. So remember to not get frustrated over that over that stuff. Listen to your body, see if it wants to give you a message about what it needs in order to correct the situation. And listen to your body. Most of the time we're not hearing what our body's telling us. Is it just telling you to move your arms slightly? Is it telling you to stretch a certain way? Do you feel like stretching? Stretch. Don't just hear it, do it. Because it's helping you correct or rebalance your body. So let's go ahead and roll the die for the twins today, which we have Neptune, which is all about that dreamy energy of Pisces. We have Capricorn, which is all about responsibilities. And we have the number 10, which is destiny and that high vibration. It's also for me, with the Wheel of Fortune card, the Libra energy. So Libra, Capricorn, and Pisces energy here. So balancing responsibilities with your dreams. So let's see how that plays out in this read I have for you. So for this Metatron read, the bottom of the deck was the Cosmos card, which is all about mirroring you. So whatever you are here, expressing love as your authentic self will be mirrored back to you. So remember to express that high vibration, so that's the energy that you receive back in the reflection from the cosmos. And also the number 20 comes up on the Cosmos card, which is the Judgment card, which can just be a decision if you're making decisions for yourself. But remember, when it comes to the final judgment, which will come up in this read, is that you are your own final judgment. It's not something outside of yourself judging you. Okay, so the colors that came up in the read today were gold, white, and indigo. And the only element that came up was air. Okay, so we have the white of purification. That was coming up very much for the Virgo energy of purification, and the Libra, because from Virgo to Libra is right in the middle of the astrological chart. It's the center point. And the gold, of course, references the Christ consciousness, and the indigo is your third eye. So very much of purifying your connection with the Christ consciousness. And the air that you breathe is coming up today as well, right? In oxygen and out the carbon dioxide, which brings up plants around you, who then transmute that energy for you. And the air that you breathe regarding your thoughts and words, and being discerning as far as what you put out there, as well as discerning as far as what you let into your field. Is it an energy that's good for you, that's going to be supportive of your needs and the things you dream of? Or is it going to be an energy that will drain you of that? And it could be a nice person, it doesn't mean they're a bad person, but is it good for you? This is the discernment, because we only want that energy that truly resonates with us, right? It's for us to be in our highest good. When we're talking about the people that we, our friends and family that we want to hang out with all the time, especially if you're dealing with other clients who may be struggling or may be a drain on your energy, you want something as supportive to your energy as possible in your personal time. So who are you today? Who is your authentic inner divine masculine and divine feminine for both of you? Okay, so we start out here with love and love relationships. And I was experimenting with the elderberry because I was guided to the elderberry regarding my dry eyes. And so I made a little paste of elderberry this morning. I'd already put it in water because I've been steaming some water for experimenting again with my eyes, the dry eyes. So I was putting some oils in the water, and then I added the elderberry as well. So I'm doing that as well. But I literally put the paste of elderberry on my eyes today, and so far they feel good. It's interesting too because elderberry is a great color. So it would be good for natural eyeliner. You could just make a little paste of it and draw eyeliner on in order to soothe your dry eyes. I believe it's considered a diuretic, and this is just natural berries. So when I know something for sure, I'll let you know how it's working for me. But it's just a berry, so if you want to experiment yourself, you can. So at 1027, which is the Wheel of Fortune and that destiny, high vibration, and the 27 of inspiration of the Ace of Wands and that third energy, and the love relationships and harmony. And I was being guided to break down harmony and then relationships. And harmony was coming up as the sound of laughter, articulation, growing into something else. Even gray hair, being honorable and graceful. He, she, or they, or many was coming up. The connection in the holder of senses, or the going all in, of wrapping and delivering, right? That is the shipping from relationships. So to send, the ship is to send, release, or launch, embark, pass, or go all in, to wrap and gift or delivery. Or laughing about ourselves, laughing about money, the egg, the testicle, the penis, the many of us, laughing at ourselves and our humanness, which is coming up as that harmonic relationship. So who are you, divine masculine, divine feminine, in your aqua gold heart of blossoming rose, the mother and the father and the flowering child within, and the cosmos mirroring you with the 12 faces, 30 sides, and the 20 points of the crystal that was coming up in this card. The 12 faces, 30 sides, and 20 points, which is the 12 of the hanging man of the faces. The 30 is the home or the union, and the 20 is the judgment or the points. So there's many more sides here and points than actual faces present. 12, which is unclear, in 20 points because there's not quite 2 points for each 12 people of the hanging man, those hanging out. The 12 who are unclear on the 1 point that they are, their perspective, with 2.5 sides perhaps representing their family and or children. The first card out is the King of Wands in duality, where balance is needed, becoming too passionate about something. The Knight of Wands is the movement of that passion and the love for life, and the wake-up call to alignment or balance of 11, which is justice or truth and balance. I'm sorry if you hear anything. I have some work going on in my basement, and I think they're drilling right below me right now. So the 11 with justice, to listen and take note, tone and song, bellowing out from the heart, whistle while you work, hum a happy tune, the message in a bottle of speaking up and being heard, where the land meets sea, meets sky, meets I am. All my ancestors emanating out from my heart, to the beach, the water and the shells, to the heart birthing the new, to Archangel Sandalphon or Saint Dolphin, Lemuria or Mu to you, along with Lyran resonance, the energetic exchange in and out of the heart, the holy grail of gold, the epiphanies of replenishment to your instrument or your avatar body, the evolution of the Page of Cups, which is that pure innocent love, at 10:55, the truth of that high vibration, and then Saint Dolphin on the journey with you, who has been there all along, right? Saint Dolphin or your Lemurian ancestors or your Lyran Esters have been right there at home all along in your heart with you. At 10:56, that destiny, that high vibration of the 56 of the Two of Swords, being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear, of karma, of the twins, and the choice of path, untying the knots in the electromagnetic grid, interdimensionally, or living a multidimensional life. The purity and innocence of the King of Swords in the diamond light. The diamond remembers the 2 almond, and the light of the ash, 2 eyes, 2 petals, or 2 propellers to see that bright light, right? I am blinded by the light. Clearing and purifying the way. The center of the Virgo to Libra purification point to the balancing act, conquering the fears of healing and dreams 1 step at a time with Saint Dolphin, starting today. The untapped energy of the Kundalini rising and clearing through the wounded warrior out of your system, offering it all up to source. Breathe in love and out fear. Just like plants transmute carbon dioxide for you. Source wants your fear so that the universe can transmute that for you. Back into love. The Akashics review for new view, and then dance into the lead, answering the call with signs and synchronicities sent to you with love from Spirit and the birds. Fly free with the air that you breathe, inspired by Metatron's Rainbow Bridge, or the white purification process, over hill, over dale, under arcs and through steeples, picking up your key on the way, with boundaries set daily so you don't lose your patience, into the sun and the new dawn, in a high vibe destiny, in the indigo self-mastery of wholeness and balance at 11:10, which is justice and that high vibe, and the third eye pineal gland, and your star connection to other worlds, and the inner child's weight of the world, the inner child's knowingness of the other world, carrying the weight of the world. Hear and know your inner child and what's weighing on you today. And that was all at 11:11. Talk to your children about other worlds and the stars and the constellations, the journey through the day and the journey through the night, within and without. Route 66, which is coming up as the root and the path, but also the root chakra of the 66, which is the Queen of Pentacles in the Tarot, but it's also the 6 times 6, the exponential energy of love times itself. Exponentially becomes 36, which is then the atlas of the weight of the world upon your shoulders, because there's so much love to carry that weight. The heavy weight of the Divine Masculine Triangle and the Lady Liberties of the Divine Feminine Triangle. The Book and the Librarian at 1116, which is Justice and the Tower, or Epiphanies. The History and Akash, her story. His story and her story, the Akashic Records. The Book of the Human, masculine history, and the Akashic Records of her story. Of his story of Atlas and her story of Hercules, or Atlas, her harvest, because Kules means harvest. The Rock of Gibraltar, the GIBR, the army or guts of Britain's altar, and London Bridge falling down, straight down into the Strait of Gibraltar to us, through the waterways, or the way of the heart, in the land of the Mutt and Lady Liberty, which is us, or the U.S., which the Strait of Gibraltar points towards. At 1119 is Justice and the 19 of the Sun. And then, of course, in coming to U.S. and Ellis Island and all of that, Isle of New York was coming up again. But what they want you to understand about that tetragrammaton of I love New York, I, heart, N-Y, is literally this symbolism, okay, of I, heart. The N is the explosion and the implosion in coming to the middle point of the Y in the road, which is the 0 point, the top of the pyramid. So I, heart, N-Y is literally I am all heart and love, expanding and contracting to the middle, the 0 point, where all routes lead home. And then the thank you of TY is, again, like I showed you before, the T of the block and the Y of in all directions of time and space, or 0 point, going from this to putting your arms up in the air when you're in fear, or saying thank you, or saying yay and putting your arms up in the air. And notice that YEY is 2 0 points, or 2 people at the 0 point, with the E in the middle, which I taught you yesterday, is the energy loop. There's the YEY of the pyramid from above, is that 0 point at the top of the pyramid, and the energy loops between those 2 0 point fields. The 2 Ys excited in an M field of possibilities, right? EM, the electromagnetic field of possibilities, but EM is also Imana, which is the name of the Pleiadian god, and the feminine energy, and then the energy of the E created between the 2 tops of the pyramids together, or in other words, the Merkaba at 1128, which is Justice and the Twins, alignment of the twins. In yay, with your arms up in the air, which what you're supposed to do in a panic, or a lot of fear that comes up, is raise your arms up in the air. So here we have these 2 0 points of the Ys and the electromagnetic field between, the energy that's created by the 2 pyramids coming together in the Merkaba, and the energy that it creates, that arcing energy. The underlying energy of authentically being love, as the cosmos mirrors you, you are your final judgment. The first column was all about balance, your instrument, the new heart, and the diamond wings purifying, as I'm telling you about the iron cross in my back. And that I brought that up the other day, that it's whenever I'm getting an injury somewhere that's coming up, it's usually because it's being purified. So here it comes up again as the wings being purified here. The ancestors supporting you with love for life, within and without and from above. With Metatron and Sandalphon, or Metatron and Saint Dolphin, or the path of the dolphin, which dolphin is D-O, or do. The L is the right angle, right? See it from a new perspective, the right perspective, do the right thing. And then the phi of PHI, which is the expansion and contraction of the capital N, which is that Christ consciousness expanding and contracting along with the phi energy to collapse into the middle by doing the right thing, or seeing a new angle, a new perspective. expanding and contracting, or just reflecting the Christ consciousness, untying the karmic knots or the quantum entanglement, or the soul retrieval, or retrieving the bits and pieces that you left in other dimensions, or two mentions perhaps. But dimensions is also two humans or periods in connection with heart, mind, and consciousness. And then the third column is all about the trumpeter making the call with the gold cup, the Holy Grail, and then the harpist with the lyra pulling strings or strumming your pain with their fingers, singing your life with their words. The Holy Grail holds, and the Holy Communion communicates the rod and staff unions. And I wrote Rob by accident, the Rob and staff unions. So the Holy Communion communicates the rod and staff unions. The grid of two diamonds as the Vesica Pisces, but in the diamond energy, and then the circles representing the arc of energy from point to point of the diamonds, or four pyramids coming together, two each, right? Because you each have the masculine and feminine within you. So you each have the diamond because you each are masculine and feminine. And then the releasing of the Kundalini communion of the wounded warrior into the Holy Grail of the womb, which is representing the sexual act, and then the mastering of the passions with the child of innocence and love, cleared by the mastering of thoughts and words, or the King of Swords, through the Kundalini rising, through two angels, or two angles, or perspectives of inspiration, which is passion without ego, and love, right, which is the energy without the drama of emotion, without the ego involved. That's the wounded warrior being burned off in the Rev, or the Vroom, the V room, the creation room, or room of creation, which is the womb, the womb, the womb room, which goes vroom. And then you notice they guided me to break down the room, because the R is like the safety pin image that I showed you a long time ago. The safety pin has that top housing, which is the circle of the P, and the back of the pin is the leg of the P. And then with the R added, you have to add that extra leg, which is the point, but it's pointing in the wrong direction when it's the letter R. But however, if you have the P with the leg on it, which is the divine masculine with housing, reaching out to the two humans of the two zeros, who are human embodiments of Source, with two mountains and a valley between, or the M, or in other words, three's company, or perhaps an extra room. So the room is literally that safety pin, because when you take the word room, and the R is the P, the housing of the pin, the back of the pin, and this is the point of the pin, but it seems to be broken off, right? Because normally there'd be two loops down here. But if you move these two zeros to the bottom of the pin, it then closes the loop, right? Because this gets soldered onto these two loops, and then the upper part is free to open and close. And then we have the M of the mountains with the valley between, or with the EM, the electromagnetic field, a more divine feminine creator, okay, or housing for two. So there was your message from Metatron today. Very cool. And now we have the read on the table for you, the twin flames. This is general energy for all the twin flames. This is the picture of the main read from the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And then the full read you see on the table here with 7 decks is here. Okay. And so this was done at 6:48 to 49 last night, which is the Lovers, and the 48 to 49, which is this 8 of Cups to 9 of Cups, which is that walking away within to your emotional sovereignty, right? Finding what makes you happy and being happy with just yourself. Because when you're happy with yourself, then you can be happy in any situation. So at 7:05, go came up, G-O. So it's a go at 7:05, which is the Chariot and the Hierophant, or your freedom, change, and expansion. I finished clarifying at 7:20, which is the 7 of the Chariot and the 20 of Judgment, or the 72 of the 4 of Pentacles with a lot of the source energy backing it up. And the 4 of Pentacles is all about being balanced and practicable and moderate. It's also the 72 of the 72 by 2 in the 144,000. So the major arcana that came up in this read, let me take the fuzz away for you, is the Reason, which is Emperor, Guidance, which is the Hierophant, Indigo, which is the Magician, and Transition after the read, which is the Death card. And before the read, we had Abundance, which is the Empress. So both the Empress and the Emperor were showing up here. The Shadow, which is the Devil, and then the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune, of course, the Great Wheel in this deck. There were 3 Pentacles, 1 Cup, 1 Wand, and, 3 Pentacles, 1 Cup, 2 Wands, and 2 Swords. The 31 and 22, which 31 is that 5 of Wands, which can be conflict and battles and competition, but it also can be the pursuit of happiness and games and fun and acting. So we have the 22 of the Fool's Journey, of course, with an open heart taking a leap of faith. And then the 9 of Pentacles in the read was there was no court cards, just the 9 of Pentacles, which is your sovereignty. And then before the read was the Page of Wands, and after the read, the Page of Cups, being sovereign together. Right? The Page of Wands is about the passion energy and keeping your ego in check. And the Page of Cups is about the emotional love energy and keeping the passion in check, right? So no drama, no ego here with the passion or the heart, right? So it's just pure inspiration and love is what we want to get to. So the numbers here were all about, we had 555s, which was the most significant number here, all about changes. And 555 is 15, which is the shadow side. And 66 also came up here again after I brought it up in the Metatron read of root 66, right? The root of love times love, which is 36 of the weight of the world upon your shoulders. And the love of carrying the weight of other worlds on our shoulders in connection with others, right? When we care about others, that's when it weighs on us, but learning how not to let worry come into our field, because that's just fear. But being able to happily and lightly be able to carry that weight because it's no longer heavy. The 555s of that change, and the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, being very practical and grounded, but also, has it all together. She has everything she needs. We have 8, 9, 10, begin again, as well as 4, 5, 6, pick up sticks. But again, the 40, 50, 60, which I've been doing my union reads, instead of, we're leaving the third dimension more into the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, because the 6th dimension is actually where we manifest into, whereas the 5th dimension is more of a hub where you can then jump to any other dimension. So we also have 56 here, which is the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing, keeping your energy clear. We have the 45 of the purging process of the 5 of Cups. We also have the 1 of the Magician, the 12 of the Hanging Man, the 34 of the 8 of Wands, the energetic exchange or arrows of love, the 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and that is that new manifestation as well. And the code line was all about personal growth, and it was coming up as ALH because it was broken up into person O and growth, or grout with an H on the end. That was separated, excuse me. So ALH was coming up, which is a word, and also all H, which broken down, the H for me is the lap dance. All lap dance, or all 3D as opposed to 5D, and the 8, which is the upright dance. And the AL is the A, the capital A of the TP, grounded, but also the rocket ship taken off, and the L being the key or the 90-degree angle, seeing new perspectives of that H, of the 2 4s coming together, or the lap dance. And remember, the 2 4s coming together is the 44 of grounding, integrating, and mastering, of the receiving of love, allowing yourself to be loved. And the messages came up as to see, or the sudden event, which can be an epiphany, and a sexual exchange as well, or some kind of explosion. It can be positive or negative. But the sudden event and being that sight of the Hermit or the Nine, which is both the one and the all, the collective and the Hermit, the wise one, and the home expanding and contracting in creation, in the needing of peace, with I, kisses and hugs, sending kisses and hugs to another that you care about. And remember, when you feel like, is there anything I can do for someone, especially if there's someone far away or someone you don't know very well, but you want to send your love, well, exactly, that's what you do. You send healing, you send love to that person, so you can do a lot of good with that. The seeing with your eyes, seeing with your heart and your emotions, and seeing with the Christ consciousness, or the unity consciousness, not about religion or Christianity, it's about love. And seeing the source and the collective, the Hermit, the Nine, and the union, seeing that source collective union come together. And the change, I wrote, instead of change, I wrote Chan age. I don't know why I put an extra A in there. The age of change, the age of Chan, of the union, right? Because the age of Aquarius is all about change and being sovereign as opposed to following the collective and moving into peace. And then the peace sign came up literally with the words that came up, because there was 2 sections in the code line that had lowercase I and then X and then O, but 2 of them around the thoughts and words of the orbs. And if you put lowercase I with the X and the O, it literally becomes like in a way, the peace symbol, but it's literally a diamond where you're pointing out the flaw in the diamond. You know, when you look at the diamonds under the microscope at the jewelry store so that they can prove to you the flaws in the diamond. Literally, if you put the lowercase I, the X, and the O together, that's what you get, is the close-up of a diamond and their inclusions. So the ALH means garlic, temple, or onion. But again, like I said, the teepee or the rocket ship, and the right angle for the lap dance in personal growth. The seti, or the 7, which means to sleep and to lie down. 7 to sleep and lie down, and 7 is also the chariot. To sleep and lie down or meditate. The hermit home, and that's what the hermit does, they meditate, in the collective union, in the changes of that SIXO and SIXO with forb between them. So that could be, 60 and 60. And again, there's that 6-6 coming up with the source backing it up with money in between, which came up as one of the definitions that came up in breaking down the words today in harmony. But it's about making light of us as humans, taking things so seriously. So the forb was coming up here as forbs, and taking money, right? Taking it lightly, not so heavily, not so seriously. And the 6 and 6 around it, both backed up by source, which is love. And then it was also coming up as the hermit's home and the collective union, and the fidelity of the VS, clarity of a diamond versus the BS of a diamond. So it's like, do I get a real one or do I get a fake one? And try to pawn it off that way. But it's a metaphor for other things as well, right? Do I do it the real way or do I do it the fake way? And what does it mean? And don't take it so seriously as well. So we have also the 79, which for me is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, of the home and the union and celebration of the fidelity of that clarity versus the BS of the diamond light. The 10 of Pentacles is the underlying energy in this read, which is reversed, and beneath that, right? So we have that as the main card on top here with the mini cards on top. And below that was the abundance, which is the Empress, upright, the shadow upright, or the devil, the Page of Wands reversed, the wheel reversed, and the 3 of Swords reversed. So we start here with the Empress, which is also Taurus energy, and the shadow, which is Capricorn energy, or temptation. So the Empress, Capricorn, or the shadow, Taurus perhaps, or temptation. or the Empress in her codependencies, frustrated in the downturn or healing of the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, and their dysfunction or loss, in a split, a divide, or a lie, or need for clarity, needing the truth of sneaky behavior of the Page of Wands reversed, or perhaps a hit and run, or theft, or a mugging, and that could have involved a child with the Page of Wands reversed, but that could be a pet as well, or your inner child in a very frustrated sense. But the Page of Wands reversed can also be a sick child, or a child who's very uninspired, or the opposite of one who's all over the place with their energy. But there could be a hit and run, or a theft, or mugging, and again, an ending or a death, dark night of the soul, or a transition here regarding the sneaky behavior. And the Queen of Cups upright, waving or distracting them, and maybe that's why it happened, because the Page of Wands was distracted by the Queen of Cups, waving, and then something may have happened. And it could just be someone tripping or something like that. But there's some kind of sneaky behavior also that was coming up here, or the lying, cheating, and stealing, which caused the situation in the first place. At 7:57, which is the Chariot and the Three of Swords, the Taurus, Capricorn, and Scorpio are upright, while the Libra is reversed right here. The loving children or soulmates with unhappy family and or deception, working to align with healing and forgiveness, implementing a plan after the sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, in avoiding a disaster. With the healing and the implementing a plan after the fact. Perhaps costing 3 Pentacles to have 3 swords removed. With the Hermit reversed, going crazy, over isolated or coming out powerless or dependent, broken, broke up, broke down, broke in, out, or through, on the warpath, out in the cold, or the car broke down, or someone's without a ride, or the curtains were open and refusing to come to the door. This could be the one, and beneath that, keep an open mind. Remember that there are lessons to be learned here. So if something happens where someone ignores you, or there may be a reason for that, or maybe a lesson in the person knowing their own worth and not feeling bad about that. It may not have been them at all. It may have been the other person's situation at that moment. And so we have the energy of the offer of love or affection, of dessert put out. No more flirting or showing off, or to end a conflict and a split, a divide, or needing the truth, or just out of the hospital, prison, rehab, or lacking faith, or falling on face. That could be falling on the steps too, right? Just leaving or going into a place. Falling on face or from grace, or perhaps embarrassed, leaning on the truth, or perhaps a hemorrhoid issue, or cut it out, or messed up surgery, or a snake tripped them up, or fell and broke their arm or butt, or caught checking out a mannequin's butt. And that could be watching Mannequin on TV as well. Nature comes up with number 74, which is that perfect balance, and karmic completion, which is 10 in that high vibration, and the messenger of truth rushing in, or a delivery to their sunshine, or to expose all in an imbalance or debt, putting out 6, and then perhaps putting out another 4, with the Tower, and that could be all, right? Because 6 plus 4 is 10. That's going into a new cycle. So putting out more than you have in order to get to a new cycle. With the Tower reversed after a sudden event, and the King of Swords reversed, the Wounded Warrior surrendering, or the Knight of Swords on vacation spending too much, or in an unfair exchange, wanting to fix, repair, or make amends. At 824, the dance or the strength of manifesting of dreams, and the 24 of the Queen of Wands. After a sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, the King of Swords reversed is surrendering. Or after resisting and the silent treatment, the Wounded Warrior is surrendering. With Leo upright and Scorpio reversed, surrendering to the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community dysfunction or loss. After a sudden event or epiphany, or perhaps kicked out, or all hell broke loose. With the Page of Swords upright, sending a message, perhaps trying to be clear, naturally with karmic completion here at 829, which is the dance of manifestation, and the 29 of being present in the moment, because we manifest from the 0 point. At 8:29, again, at that 0 point, going back to the very underlying energy of it all in this read, is the Queen of Wands reversed, with the World reversed. No, first is the Empress reversed, sorry about that, and the Three of Cups upright, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Two of Cups upright. So the Empress coming together, but she's reversed, and so is the Queen of Wands, coming together with the Queen of Wands reversed to connect one-to-one. And that could be kind of misery loves company as well. With the Queen of Wands reversed and the World reversed, or needing closure to come full circle, or with Pisces reversed, or the Divine Feminine in 5D home, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Cups upright, perhaps foolishly gambling or waiting for an announcement, results, or a final judgment to find self-satisfaction, with or as the Emperor present and or with gifts. Or the Queen of Wands reversed is home with Mother who's reversed and the Father who's upright, or at siblings and Father won't answer the call from the siblings, or satisfied to sit around and watch TV, and that could be a father, who's older and isn't doing great. But again, there's this energy of the Queen of Wands and the Mother energy, or the Empress energy, both reversed, and the Father's upright, not paying attention to that energy. There's a difference of point of view here. 8:42, again, the dance of the Two of Cups connecting one-to-one, and the recent past of the guidance reversed, or no guidance, in other words. This also could be Taurus reversed energy, or the energy of the Hierophant reversed, which is alternative belief systems, perhaps a divorce, or somebody with Taurus in their chart and no guidance, or a break from a marriage or group. And the Knight of Wands rushing in to save the day, to end the nightmare with the Six of Cups, whether that's children loving each other and fond memories, or kids or a soulmate around bad influences and depressed, or getting over loss, regret, healing and forgiving, dumping emotional attachments and or multiple loads at home. Broke or broken or stuck, with the Knight of Swords rushing in to the King of Wands to watch the Devil, temptation, or Capricorn drop the ball. A mess. Could be a mess, to make a mess as well, or mess us up, or drop the facade, the act, or breaking patterns here. So again, broke or broken, stuck, with the Knight of Swords rushing in to the King of Wands, right? That could be a delivery as well to the King of Wands, but the King of Wands is upright. And I believe the Knight of Swords is too, yeah. So a delivery coming into the King of Wands to watch the Devil, temptation, right, waving, or Capricorn. That could be somebody watching something on TV too. Watch, maybe they're hoping they drop the ball or mess up, or drop the facade or the act and break patterns. And that could be watching something on TV or YouTube. And then 8:48 comes up here, which is the dance of the walking away and within of the Eight of Cups. So the foundation here is the Emperor, or the reasoning, the logic, and the Queen of Swords speaking about their weaknesses, their health, or the need for courage to implement a plan, or the Queen of Swords speaking about the Emperor needing to invest in them, or the Divine Feminine in the 5D, with Pisces reversed or the World upside down, and the needing of closure or almost done, the cycle. With the central energy at 8:49, which is the getting your wish or being self-satisfied, the central energy is the Eight of Cups reversed, and being uncomfortable, being present without guidance, or being alternative without support, right? Being uncomfortable in a situation that maybe you need to leave, with the King, no guidance from the King of Swords reversed, who may be silent or verbally abusive or just very negative, in a painful ending or ending pain or betrayal, surgery or a massage, or fell or dropped the ball, but not so suddenly. Maybe it's been a long time coming, and uncomfortable about it. At 8:52, which is the dance of the Queen of Swords, speaking the truth and the light. The challenge being the home and the sovereign reversed, who's not sovereign, they're dependent, or they're powerless, or lost their power, money, and independence, and holding on to the Knight of Pentacles, who's upright, coming in to help, The King of Wands, an energetic exchange or arrows of love or just lots of back and forth energy going on in the 5D connection, or with Sovereign reversed or the dependent who may be laid up or feeling powerless at the moment. Frustrated King of Wands upright and the King of Pentacles who's reversed. The King of Wands may be frustrated because the King of Pentacles reversed may be all about money and manifesting big time. It's like, why are they're so negative? They're all about money, not love, and so why are they doing so well? But the King of Wands is upright and fine, but perhaps wondering why this is. Or they're watching a performer or physician, or uncomfortable, defenseless, and without excuse. And again, this is between frustration of the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles reversed manifesting big time. Or that King of Pentacles reversed could just be a Gemini as well, or a Virgo, or have that in their chart. It's coming upright, so that for me that would more be the sun sign or at least rising sign. So 855 is the dance of the 55 of the truth, Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. Defenseless to advances, perhaps, of the King of Pentacles, who's no superhero here, refusing to get up or wake up at home, or about union with the Queen of Cups upright, and the energy of losing patience or losing temper, or a fallen angel, or Sagittarius reversed, slinking away, feeling guilt or shame, with the wounded warrior surrendering to be strong and tame their beast, or get someone else to tame the beast. That could be a dog or a child as well. And Leo has to do with ego. And then the Hermit reversed, bleeding out, rejected, and suffering in silence and stressed out, or perhaps a sister is, and unable to sleep as well. So now here's the Six of Pentacles reverse, which is all about imbalance, of the Empress upright, draining, or with kids or pets who are out of control and their world upside down or needing completion, or finding an escape as to not have to work and or surrender. Or Taurus upright and Leo reversed, with Pisces reversed and Capricorn reversed, with great affection for the High Priestess, or perhaps great affection for the sister, and needing to settle out debt or an inequity, with the Page of Cups reversed, who's vulnerable and unable to express their feelings of satisfaction or temptation, because it's that immature emotional energy, and that could be a baby crying as well. But marking territory, and so the name Mark could be coming up as well, marking their territory and feeling castrated by this, and the Knight of Pentacles upright with the Page of Swords upright, and the wounded warrior surrendering to the early morn, or to getting up early, or to the deception of grounding and integrating in a wake-up call to hang out or see a different perspective, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Swords reversed, which are, Queen of Pentacles reversed would be an earth sign, or someone who's ungrounded or all about the money, and the King of Swords who may be in a negative place, giving someone the silent treatment or being verbally abusive. With Pisces, High Priestess upright, and the King and Queen of Wands, but she's reversed and he's upright, and no place or no peace to be, there's no peace here, or no peaceful place to be, with the Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Wands upright, and then the High Priestess with them, or Pisces energy, which also can be Virgo or Aquarius as well, but holding on and hoarding, or rejected or jealous of the injustice of the Emperor upright and the Libra reversed and Aries upright, perhaps not getting along, which maybe the Queen of Wands and King of Wands are that. Or the Queen of Wands reversed perhaps has Libra in their chart, and the King of Wands may be Aries or Leo, but more likely Aries, or is the Emperor. And soon here is the Five of Swords reversed, post-war, stretching and growing, with the Ten of Cups reversed, ending an emotional cycle of unhappiness or an unhappy family, but yet satisfied with self, in disconnect or at a distance of the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community. So now you have the Montagues and the Capulets here, and they're both reversed, being happy at a distance from each other. And remember, the two families can either be like the Montagues and Capulets, but they can also be your immediate family and your extended family, right? Or the emotional family and the monetary family. So this energy of the two families, and someone wanting to be by themselves, they're much happier with themselves, ending this emotional cycle of unhappiness or unhappy family, but yet satisfied with self, in disconnect or at a distance from the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, with dysfunction or loss, with the Page of Cups reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, and foolish behavior or a fall. Frustrated or pushed, or feeling pushed, depressed in a losing battle and drained or overexposed with twin flames, and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, which is the twin flames seeing themselves as dependent or powerless, or with big expenses to pay, or burdened and without options, or with new information about work or getting their ducks in a row, with issues at work, and that can be anything from money to people or third-party interventions, or issues with post-war or post-virus, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, receiving or pulling in to receive a love offer in order to offer the Knight of Swords time, money, and effort, or a new life in order to pay a debt as well. We have release your ex, love yourself first, as well as soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate, and stay optimistic about your love life. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Ace of Wands reversed, and that frustration or feeling pushed, of feeling abused or pushed. The Page of Pentacles studying, or with an opportunity or invitation to lead or bring good news about imbalances, inequities, or debts, or losing patience and temper. At 9:17, the Hermit and the Star, the Fallen Angel and the Downturn or Twist of Fate. And the movies that came up last night were Royal Treatment and the series Afterlife. So again, the afterlife, life after death, which is now, right? Because the old life died in 2012, moving into the new life of Aquarius. The Fallen Angel and the Downturn or Twist of Fate, with Sag and Libra both reversed here, which can be one person, and the block here being the Six of Swords reversed, in need of peace or a peaceful place to be or to land, with personal growth, but even more so here, new beginnings and self-discipline, a judgment or decision, unable to conceive of something, or not burning the past. And the indigo child here is upright, with a diamond proposal perhaps, or proposing to end conflict and anxiety or trap, with the Emperor upright and the King of Wands upright, which can be the same person, but needing strength, with the Hermit reversed, bleeding out, with the Knight of Cups reversed, who could be a sister or someone who's jealous, or the Knight of Cups reversed, feeling rejected and suffering in silence or can't sleep, and purging or stressed out, or feeling abused. The indigo proposing but not surrendering to all that is, and getting over loss, regret, out in the cold, in transition, with the Page of Cups reversed and the King of Cups upright, which can be a father and child relationship that needs to be worked out here, or the King of Wands upright and the King of Pentacles reversed, Gemini or Virgo, and the King of Wands could be Leo or Aries here. It can be in the other signs, but that's what's coming up as most significant. And perhaps there's children of the Emperor and the King of Cups, or the King of Cups may be the third son. You know, there could be that energy of the baby of the family with the indigo child here. And the Libra reversed, Aries upright, Leo, Virgo reversed, with Aquarius upright, Gemini or Virgo upright, and Scorpio upright here as well. With the King of Wands Aries and the King of Cups Scorpio perhaps, and the King of Pentacles reversed may be someone with Virgo in their chart, and the Queen of Wands may be someone with Leo in their chart, perhaps a Pisces and or jealousy here. Or indigo is the baby, but it's all about making money and magically manifesting there for them, and that would be the King of Pentacles reversed perhaps. At 9:32, which is the Hermit and the Journey, is the energy of the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community with dysfunction or loss, and the Emperor upright, perhaps the Emperor of that family, with a dependent or feeling powerless and frustrated, with lack of guidance in alternative belief systems, or break in a contract or divorce, and being uncomfortable, stuck in the situation, and challenged by home and not leaving, or post-war, post-virus, or growth and no peace, or balance and indigo proposing or dropping the ball, or dropping the act, or just getting over it and being out in the cold in transition with the King of Cups or after death. So again, this can be the issues, it could be dealing with issues of perhaps a father who passed away already and dealing with the issues between them, or reconnecting with a father you don't get along with if you're the child, or vice versa, the father connecting with a child who's been acting up. It's like working out these issues between you, even though you'll never be on the same page or never see things the same way, that you can still agree to disagree and be loving to each other. And also this is for forgiveness in order to help yourself, you know, be in the present and not hold that dark energy inside of you. So at 936, which is the Hermit, and the 36 of the Atlas energy and the Weight of the World, which is also the 369 energy of Tesla, and then the Empress and the Devil, or the shadow side, and the Page of Wands reversed in a twist of fate, and Healing Heart with the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community dysfunction or loss, but without guidance, right? Doing them themselves, or not depending on someone else who used to have to do it all for them, with the Wounded Warrior now surrendering. The Emperor may be uncomfortable with the imbalance and challenged by the home, dependent or powerless post-war or virus or growth, and frustrated without peace, with the Indigo dropping the ball in order to get over it, or in exile, in death, or transition of or to the Page of Cups reversed, or in rejection of the King of Cups upright here at 940, which is the Hermit and the Page of Cups. So perhaps the King of Cups could also have Virgo in their chart, or be a Virgo, but a very loving parent, with the Page of Cups reversed there. And again, the Page of Cups can be a rejection. It can be a spoiled child as well as a vulnerable, shy child. They can be both extremes, as well as a baby just, you know, screaming their head off. So let's pull a few oracle cards, see what else is coming up for you guys. It's 56:36 on this clock, which again is being your knowing, keeping your energy clear, and the Atlas energy of the Weight of the World, and allowing that weight to lighten up. You can still carry something without allowing it to be heavy. Remember that light is a feather. The featherweight, not the heavyweight. And these cards are being a little bit resistant to coming back together. Take a deep breath. All right, what is our takeaway from this read today? In balancing between the Capricorn and the Neptune, which is the dreams and the responsibilities. And that flipped right out. So who's flipping out here? The hyena slinking away, right? The one who makes fun of others, who can be really funny for some people, but then, right, be the target of others. So the hyena is feeling bad and slinking away, and it's definitely like that Seven of Swords energy, right? Sitting on the fence, not being one way or the other, but neither are they being true to themselves, because if they were being authentic to themselves, it would be that love energy coming through. So this can be the energy of an insecure person. And then the butterfly with the need to transform, or feeling weak within the middle of transformation, right? In the middle of the transformation, someone's very vulnerable and susceptible to getting triggered by the old ways of doing things. And then we have the gazelle, who's very graceful in the midst of the lower energies here. But this is like that very peaceful gazelle on the Serengeti. And then the swans coming up, two as one, the swans mirroring each other. And there's always that third energy that might trigger things between them. And so the bottom of the deck is the whale, who's having a hard time in the dark energies here, right? Which can be an older person, right? It can be the whales in the oceans literally dealing with clearing the waters out and really dealing with the dark energies right now. And we also have underneath that the sweet little otter. So this could be the King of Cups and the Page of Cups, that innocent energy, and someone really exhausted taking care of this. And this can be a grandparent who's taking care of a child as the parent. Or perhaps they're acting up, or just, you know, when a child is curious, they're all over the place, and it's hard for an older person to keep up with them, right? Slow. I'm slow. Go on without me, right? So here's that child and the father type of energy. So that's the underlying energy going on there. Somebody perhaps needs a life raft or help with a child, and the child could be very impish, or they're vulnerable going through transformation. And they need someone who's very calm in chaotic situations, where again, there's that 2 of 1 energy, whether it's the parent-child energy or the twin energy here. It's both that same kind of energy of that pure love and acceptance of each other. Okay. So it's accepting someone just the way they are, even if they're being like this, right? It's not accepting their behavior, but still allowing the love, right? It's like the wild horse. If they misbehave, they go away. If they come back and try again, you know, let them try again. If they've changed their ways, that's great. And if they haven't, you send them away again. It's the same thing as the wild horse and training the wild horse. And in the transformation, remember that when you first transform into the butterfly, it's a very vulnerable place. They haven't learned to use their wings yet. And that's that energy of the child growing up. And you have to be careful because they don't know how to protect themselves yet to outside manipulations. And this is that very steady energy that's that mothering energy of being calm even in those lower vibrational energies, but yet watching out for them as well. Right? Sitting there not yelling at the hyena, but just giving them the look, right? All they need is a look to go away. Don't even try, right? Because there's that very close bond here. It's a knowing. So again, there's that any discord between relationships, so, you know, husband and wife, or just people in a relationship, or parents and children. It's, again, always holding the love, but not allowing harmful behavior, right? You can love someone and it's 1:44 on the clock. You can love someone, but keep them at a distance until they learn to be more resonant with you as far as that love energy and clearing their wounds out. And it's important to forgive that person that you're not getting along to, so that you don't carry that unforgiveness in your heart in both ways. And of course, if it's your child, it's very difficult because you love them so much. You want them to see things the way you do. But even if it's your child, you have to be willing to let go of that need for everything to be the same, because they're not the same. They're them, not you. And so there's going to be differences there that you may not agree with, but that's okay too. You have to let them live their life and make their own choices, especially if they're grown up now. And of course, children need guidance until they're of a certain age, and that has, you know, that's a delicate balance. That's a dance too, as they grow up, of how much guidance you're supposed to give them. But it's about love, not control. So remember to take control out of the equation, right? You want to protect them, but not control them. So let's see what the journey of love has for us today. There's definitely that energy of someone being too old to deal with a baby or a young child. And that could be, again, someone getting stuck taking care of a child because their child had a child, or because they had an accident later in life with their marriage and had another baby that they're too old to take care of. And especially if you only have a certain amount of energy to deal with the situation, you can't have that energy of the hyena around you draining you if you need every drop of energy that you have. It's loving yourself first. If you have to take care of that baby and there's another child in your house causing discord, well, then maybe that child has to leave, but in a loving way. You know, until you learn to be respectful of my space, then you're going to have to leave. And that's the hardest thing probably any parent would ever have to do. And then just for a moment, joy. And there's my arms going up from the T to the Y. Remember to lift your arms up in the air, literally, because that releases that fear. The 46 of the children jumping for joy. Right? So yay, the YEY of the 2 0 points and the energetic field between the 2 pyramids, the Merkaba of the human. Just for a moment, joy in that purity of who you are and of your children. The 19 of the sun, of the Shakti, which is that fiery warrior of the feminine energy, right? Both sides of them. right? This is like the masculine feminine, and here's the childlike, pure love feminine here of the child. There's, you know, there's always more sides than one of any one person. And there's the devotion to the small, again, taking care of the child. And the mother doesn't always have to be a feminine person. It could be a masculine being the mother. So devotion to the small, the 32 of the journey, of the journeyman, also bringing good news to lead the way, giving them guidance, but also letting them learn to guide themselves by teaching them things and not controlling them. So that was a significant message coming up about control. Okay? And this is the, you know, this is the mother, and this is the loving child, and this is the warrior child who's rebelling or can be aggressive at times. But there's also the aggressive mother energy, keeping her kids in check to keep them safe. Because we also have this other mothering energy. It's so much about the mother and child here, as well as the father and child. And here's that, it looks like this benevolent energy with the colors, but it's actually the 15 of the shadow side, right? And it's also the praying mantis, you know, who bites the masculine's head off. And that's that controlling energy, mother, right? They look like they're saying they're doing it for your own good, but you know when it's abuse or when it's discipline. There's a difference there. And this can come up as abusive, right? With the 15 of the shadow side, right? That the mother always knows best because she's the religious one or she prays for you. Well, what if she's praying intentions that don't serve you? Well, that's abuse because she's putting her wishes on you, which may go against your wishes. And that literally is a spell or a curse, right? And then the old grandmother who does say, you know, I put a curse on you, right? It's a terrible energy. So again, watch, keep yourself in check. You may not intend to do something, but when you put your wishes on somebody else, it may not be what they wish. And so you're interfering with their destiny. Or maybe putting blocks in front of them. So again, it's that part of us all that we all have, right? The fiery side of us, the joyful, innocent side of us, the mothering side of us, the controlling side of us. And loving all the sides of you, but also being present in the moment so that you can see all the sides of you that are popping up at any one moment. The grown-up, the child, right? The aggressive, the passive-aggressive. And let's see what they say. So the first animal out is the hyena. That hyena. All right, so that's not the hyena. Hyena is humor, wit, and sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and a crowd pleaser, but below the surface there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that make you feel uncomfortable discussing them? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, they're charming, witty, and fun to be around. But when they're out of balance, they're scrappy, petty, and suspicious. To bring back into balance, sobriety. So we're talking about literally somebody with addictions here. It can be alcohol, but doesn't have to be. Right? So they're not, right? They're not balanced in their responsibilities. They're more in this Neptune energy. So it's again about that dance between the polarities in all situations. And what is the polarity that you're currently dealing with? And so then we have the 46 of the children, the soulmates. Just for a moment, joy. Yay! YEY. What we feel and express, what we choose at any given time, is our offering to the divine cosmic matrix. It germinates and is reflected back to us as a manifestation in this material reality. Can you choose to gentle your heart, to let it be open to light and to life, as opposed to that heaviness that we talked about earlier, even if it's just for a moment? If you're in the midst of darkness, of deep suffering, can you find, even for just a moment, the joy of existence underneath it? It is a wild ride, this life. Every time you open your arms in yes, the universe responds in kind. And I was just talking to someone who just lost someone. and reiterating to that person, you know, you don't have to show sadness and sorrow to honor someone's loss, right? Because they wouldn't want you to be, you know, depressed and going on, you know, without them like that. They'd want you to find the happiness and celebrate the time that they were here. There's nothing wrong with, you know, purging and crying. We need to do that. But you know, there's a lot of religions that teach us to be sad for a long, long time, which actually makes people sick. So you don't have to honor someone's memory by being sad, because that's not good for you. This oracle brings you a message. In this moment, trust that there is joy waiting to be felt and found, no matter how hard that may be to believe right now. Let go of your attachment to the apparent problems at hand as much as you can, and you'll be allowing yourself to let the divine take over and sort out what needs to happen here. There is help awaiting your invitation always. Why not let it in and let joy in as well? You're being offered divine support to live a less guarded existence, to dissemble yourself a little, or a lot, and let your true nature, which is joy, bubble to the surface without rhyme or reason other than just because it lives. The poem reads, love is magic like a balmy breeze on a winter night. It feels so good, you want it to last forever. And love is magic because we make it so, by opening to the pleasure of being alive and sharing the joy we feel. And when we're not looking, the night may actually warm again. Okay, so remembering that when you've been through dark night, like we all have, right, that we're learning how to not stay in that place, right? How to go into a purge and release it, and then come right back to the present moment in joy, which is like anything else. It takes practice. It's a spiritual practice. So remember to drink plenty of water, plenty of rest, your beauty rest, your joy in your nature, especially if it's, you know, cold outside. Make sure you have an intention to go hug a tree or put your feet out in the grass or meditate, right? Salt baths, anything to clear your energy. And no matter what you do, love it all. Allow it all to come through you. The more you accept it and allow it, the faster it's going to pass through, right? And we don't fall back. We just loop back to re-experience something and then go forward again, but we never actually fall back in vibration. So keep allowing those energetic loops. Know that we're all going forward. You're always going to feel like you're falling back at certain times because that's just the energy rotating around again. But it keeps going up. And don't forget that. You haven't lost ground. You haven't done anything wrong. You're worthy of love in every moment, no matter what you have done. Right? Rise and be love, you guys. Take a deep breath. And just allow. See you soon. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.